Alright guys, TacticalRab here again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. The Modern Warfare 2 beta is coming to a conclusion and many reactions from the pro players on what exactly needs to change to fix this game, especially from a competitive perspective. Envoy not happy at all about the time to kill, and Dashy echoing similar concerns, saying this game effectively is built for campers right now. What should Infinity Ward change? Will they change anything at all in terms of making this game better from these perspectives? Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that one. Changed around the camera angle a little bit today just to prove that there is in fact a door in this room and I'm not just stuck in a toilet or something. But yes, here we go. Plenty to discuss. Of course, Octane maybe enjoying Vanguard or maybe enjoying Modern Warfare 2. Maybe not. Is it actually better than Vanguard? I think for my initial, when I initially saw it, I was thinking, yeah, for sure. Is it actually going to be a better viewing experience than Vanguard? It certainly better be. But yeah, later today we'll talk about one of the reasons why that might not necessarily be the case. Now, I wanted to say some things on Rostermania real quick here. Firstly, from Real, because, well, the Minnesota Rokkr, to me, they seem to be doing the best job right now, arguably in the entire league, of building a talent pipeline in terms of the SMGs. We know the SMGs are pretty much the most important players on your roster. There are few and far between great SMG players in the entire world right now. Rokkr, of course, managed to acquire Afro away from London and also steal him away from Toronto as well, where he was going to go. I guess they paid him more money or whatever was required there. Toronto, of course, also done a good job the last couple of years having a talent pipeline in their academy lineup that's now helped them actually build Scrappy into the starting team. And of course, Vickel's gone to Florida. They've done a good job there. Rokkr trying a similar thing, but Real coming in, one of the most promising Spanish players for the last couple of seasons. He's coming into the Minnesota Rokkr, got his visa sorted. And also Fame, one of the most promising North American players from the end of last season in Modern Warfare 2 in the Challenger side. He is also on the bench over there and in their academy roster. There was some talk initially that he might even find himself on the starting team. They decided, of course, to go a different route with that one. But yeah, still exciting and promising stuff for the Rokkr side that they've got a great starting roster over there, of course, a significant upgrade theoretically over last season, but also they've got the options on the bench. They've got the academy lineup. They're building a competent system, it seems, which is kind of what Minnesota have lacked arguably the last couple of seasons. So exciting, hopefully, to see another organization really get competitive from this season going forwards. Now, this to mention from Simp in the FaZe camp, Modern Warfare 2 beta with Mike Apox. Now, this guy, I think, may have been involved in the FaZe program a couple of years ago, maybe on the FaZe Black team. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but I'm pretty sure he was doing some analyst work for Paris Legion this past season, and it now Simp's playing with him here. Now, also worthy of note is that Crowder comes out and says, drops the eyes emoji. Now, we're not really sure what the situation is still with Crowder. We're expecting maybe RJ to become the head coach over there at Atlanta FaZe. It's possible that Crowder stays on as kind of either a consultancy situation or whether he kind of, communicates with the team a couple of times a week and they have more voices in the discussion. But also what's happening with the analyst side of things. Is easyMack going to stay? Is he going to go elsewhere? Because we've seen even the likes of Marky B. He's been around Toronto for a few years. He's looking for other opportunities now. Eventually, he joins Los Angeles Guerrillas as their head coach. And there's a decent chance there'll be more coach mania, analyst mania, or whatever going on over the coming weeks. So maybe that's a possibility, one to keep your eyes on, because I think a lot of FaZe fans will be hoping Crowder does stay as part of that system so they can probably get the best out of this slasher partnership, which largely they might well need to do if they want this team to actually succeed. Wanted to mention real quick as well, because we did talk about it yesterday, the OpTic Halo situation, how Formal and the boys are getting on. The conclusion, of course, to the event will be today on Championship Sunday, and yeah, they didn't really have too many difficulties getting through the rest of their group. I believe Fnatic maybe got through the open bracket into OpTic's group yesterday, took them down, then they played Oxygen Esports round 1. This is actually the ownership group, I believe, behind, is it the Boston Breach that are owned by Oxygen, or they have some sort of partnership going on there, so there's definitely some similarities between these organizations in many groups, but Oxygen weren't, well, too much of a match for OpTic. They take them down 3-0, I believe, and then the next match, well, even Dashy's in the replies here saying, pretty different, all this type of good stuff. So yeah, Formal's getting on well. Of course, I believe the Halo scene's super weird. Orlando is now, and then in a few weeks' time, the World Championship arrives. So it's quite an interesting few weeks, but there's been nothing happening practically for months. And as Formal says, we play next on main stage versus E United for top 3. They beat E United 3-1, I believe, and secure top 3 in the tournament. They play FaZe next in a rematch from their group stages. I think FaZe are considered one of the very strongest teams. Lucid reckoned that he wanted to, rematch those guys in the grand finals no matter what happens. And of course, Cloud9, Sentinels, these squads are also going to be very solid, as Formal goes on to say, GG's United, we secure top 3, play in the winners finals tomorrow. I appreciate all the support this far. This is the way the bracket is currently playing out then. So yeah, it's just beautiful to look at a traditional kind of 16 team. I mean, this of course is 8 teams in the winners and then you get the losers bracket, but it's a traditional bracket format just like this that we used to have in the MLG CWL days. And this is how it goes with, of course, some classic organizations that we used to have in Call of Duty. This looks like it should be a Call of Duty bracket from several years ago, but unfortunately it's not. But yeah, OpTic versus E United, 3-1 there. Then Cloud9 got defeated by FaZe, and even Cloud9 took down Sentinels in the first round, but they are still alive right now in the losers bracket. And yeah, OpTic versus FaZe, winner of that makes the grand finals, and then winner of that, of course, wins the entire tournament. So yeah, definitely I'll keep you guys updated on how this one develops tomorrow. But let's talk about Modern Warfare 2, baby, a real man's game. And hardpoint was officially added yesterday. We saw a few days ago, like the way the hardpoint rotations work, and how that could potentially impact competitive in not exactly the best way possible. There are 8 rotations on some of these maps, 5 on others. Weird to me that Museum is like the biggest map, and that has 5 rotations. Farm 18 has 8 hardpoints, and that's like one of the smaller maps. So I don't really understand what Infinity Ward are thinking there, but often it doesn't seem like they really engage their brain that much. And like, it was interesting because when they put this out, actually, as Chrome puts, I guess I'll put it on the big screen here for you guys if it will eventually want to load for me. But you guys can kind of see on the left-hand side, a lot of the stuff it says here is kind of aligned with what you might say from a competitive perspective. Keep moving every 60 seconds, know the rotation, don't forget the scrap time, know when a hardpoint is chalked, right? You know, only one operator needed, one squad rotating equals the winner, stuff like this. So 6v6, you know, interesting they use the term chalked, right? It's almost like the person who wrote this actually follows competitive to some degree, knows a bit of the lingo, but clearly the designers don't really have any idea compared to what would usually be the case. And of course, the pros are playing this right and getting their idea on how the game is, and Dashy's been playing as well the last couple of days. And of course, like Dashy, we know this guy, incredible gun skill. The first gunfight he loses in this clip, we'll see here in a second, is a gunfight that you would think he probably should have won. At least in another game, he probably would have won. He doesn't really miss any bullets, but the guy that takes him down is obviously pre-aimed and therefore gets the jump on him right by the fraction of a second needed to get the kill. And that is the issue in this game to some degree with the time to kill as it stands, is that, you know, there's other reasons why camping is promoted, but the time to kill is certainly one of them, because if you walk into a pre-aim, the handling on your weapon is just so slow in this title. We saw that clip last night from Clayster when he had a really nice 4K in a round, but like the aiming down sight with the weapons is so slow that it's really difficult to get ready for gunfights. And it means that if someone's posted up ready to go, like laid down or whatever, aimed in already with a weapon that kills in 3 bullets across the map, then you have a very difficult time killing them, which really does promote this playstyle. So as Dashy says, like, it's effectively a camper game as it stands. I don't expect that to change. At Modern Warfare 2019 was arguably the same, but there were at least a few ways that you could deal with that. This game, those ways are definitely less advantageous, that we'll discuss later today. But also he talks about the gunsmith, right? And like, this is just another pro player who's been around Call of Duty for so many years, really just doesn't understand how the gunsmith system works, and I can't exactly blame it.
Wow, that might have been top 3 most confusing things I've ever done in my life. Top 3. Yo, V2s, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. That was top 3. I don't. I still don't know what's going on. Like, I somehow just got out of it. I never want to go on that page again. I might get like Maddie or like Roger, somebody to make my classes when the game drops, and hopefully it's the meta the entire year. I don't ever want to go back in that. But, yeah, it's a camping game. I forgot. Hold on, let me take my confidence out of my head. The other way to take over in this game is to actually just like play as if you're the world's worst player.
Yeah, and like literally don't
like,
move,
look
bro.
at this guy. Look at this guy.
Real life.
Look at this guy stream. Look at this guy.
That's literally what I do, bro. You gotta play like it's real life, like your life is on the line.
Yeah, no, because it is.
That's why I like Search.
Yeah, because at least, yeah, in Surge, like, you have to play like that.
So once again, Gunsmith causing some frustrations, right? We saw Slasher a few days ago. He was like, look, I just don't understand how this works. Like, I've got a, you know, he's got a degree in robotic engineering and he can't even figure out the Gunsmith system. Like, I don't understand how casual players are meant to really get the hang of how it works. But, you know, also, as Dashy said there, the camping game, he gets that first death and then the next death, the guy's just sitting around the corner. Now, the footstep audio is actually a massive one for this as well, because I think a lot of people get into gunfights. I'm sure you guys have experienced this if you played the beta. Like, you're running around the corner, you're thinking you're having a good time, and then you just get killed by someone who's pre-aiming you, and you're like, hang on a second, does this guy have walls, or they got a UAV, or what's going on? Turns out he just heard you running through the wall, pre-aims you, and you die instantly. It's unfortunate scenes. Now, you know, this some Envoy on the time to kill discussion, because there has been some good run and gun action that I've seen, few and far between. It depends what lobby you get into, really. And of course, the competitive players and the way the CDL is going to play, like, there's not going to be camping, apart from maybe search and destroy, we'll see in a second, but you can't really camp in the other game modes, unless maybe maybe capture the flag isn't. And this is the kind of concern that I have about that third game mode, is that, well, at least in control, you actually have to kind of move. Now, of course, in control, you can just sit back and hold the point or whatever, but you do have to kind of make progress up the map. Capture the flag when it's not played particularly well. If you guys remember Black Ops 3 Capture the Flag, Black Ops 3, fantastic game, but CTF in that game was not at its absolute peak, to be honest. Like, there was, let's say Stronghold Capture the Flag. There were on either end of the maps 2 players that would almost always, for their respective teams, just be sitting at the back of the map waiting for a guy to come and take them down. I remember one game in, I think it was Black Ops 3, like kind of the online pro league, where aBeZy, who I think was playing for Infuse at the time, not really sure, aBeZy went 9-0. He got 9 kills, 0 deaths in an entire 10-minute game of Capture the Flag, because that was the meta, at least for the European teams. The meta was pretty standard to just have at least one guy just sit back and relax in camp. Now, if CTF plays perfectly with good spawns, good maps and everything, that shouldn't be how it works, but especially with this game, how it plays right now, if Capture the Flag is the third mode, as Shotzzy kind of leaked the other day, then you can bet your bottom dollar that the meta will be to have 1 or 2 guys absolutely posted up the entire game, and it's going to be really difficult to get rid of them, especially with the way the time to kill is. Now, this is another example here from Envoy. I guess I can bring it for you guys on the big screen, because this is apparently some sort of glitch here, where, look at this guy, kills him with the pistol immediately, but when he dies, you can almost see like the almost like a buckshot spreads. Not sure if you guys can quite see that when I played it full speed. I'll just try and play it again so you guys see what I mean. But yeah, the pistol is not actually a pistol here, apparently. This pistol kills in 1 bullet if you have the right, I think there's some sort of glitch in play where this pistol is insta-kill, because it's actually a shotgun. Like, this guy was trying to figure out how it works here, and he kind of went through exactly how you can set your class up and have a shotgun on the secondary that actually turns into a pistol when you launch the game. Like, there's this Expedite 12 shotgun where if you set it up the correct way, when you spawn in, it actually appears as a pistol, and this is basically a one-shot pistol. So yeah, some sort of one-shot pistol glitch. I guess they will fix this, you would hope, for the real game. But yeah, as Envoy said, right, this is where I draw the line with time to kill, when I'm getting one-shotted by a pistol. And that's also the other thing that I was mentioning the other day, right, with regard to the pistols, that there are movement mechanics such as the ledge hang, and also if there are any water situations on other maps, you can only use the pistol in the water. If the pistols are really strong, then you run into issues. Now, this is another example here of kind of what Dashy's getting at, really, in that it's a camper-friendly game, it's a noob-focused game, you know, helping guys that just want to sit back and don't really have much gun skill. Now, this is, of course, I think we've seen this over the last several years, really, where the aim assist in general has got stronger and stronger over time. But this clip came live yesterday, and this, I thought, this first clip especially was kind of remarkable to me. Now, he's saying here, the guy who came up with this clip, that he's not moved his right thumbstick at all. He's just holding down the aim button or holding down the fire button as well, and his weapon is just moving for him. Like, look at this. Look how strongly that moves. Like, for the last guy, he reckons he didn't do anything with his right stick here. Like, the aim assist just dragged him onto this third guy, and he takes down the kills for free. Now, some would argue that maybe, you know, my aim assist doesn't work like that, which I think is probably fair enough, but it does seem like the game is effectively just aiming for him, right? And we see this, if you guys have ever played Campaign, like back in the day, there'll be like a couple of different aim assist settings. One of them will be like the aim assist rotation or whatever it's called, which is basically what you get in normal multiplayer. And the other one is effectively aim locking, where when you aim down sight, it just locks onto the target. So if you guys have played Campaign, I'm sure you guys probably know what I mean. And it almost looked like that was what was going on here. So it doesn't surprise me at all that over time, like Infinity Ward is just ramping up the aim assist levels on these games. That's why it's just so easy to shoot nowadays. Long range, everything doesn't matter because the aim assist is so strong. Like, this seems over the top, but yeah, I don't know if you guys have experienced this as well. But that is pretty much going to do it for this morning's video, right? And it does seem like what I've seen so far, at least, it's probably going to be another year of personalities having to carry the CDL to some extent. Like, I'm sure some of you guys saw the Sidemen versus YouTubers kind of football match that was going on last night. It'd be cool to get Zoom involved as well from his Chelsea Academy days, but also to do this between the pros. At some event, I'm sure they could set up some sort of basketball match or whatever. Like, it'd be fantastic content, right? Like, well, hopefully they can figure something along those lines out. But very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.